Hey, what's up, YouTube? Sorry, had to make an adjustment there. Had this thing a little too tight. First off, as always, rest in peace to Oscar Grant, and condolences go out to his family and friends, as always. This is in response to a video a sister made about the names black people are choosing and how it's maybe, or is stopping them from getting employment. Well, you have the right to your opinion, and I'm not trying to dish you. I just want to give my opinion on that. My thinking is if they're not getting hired based on their names, then they're being discriminated against. So that's not a problem of the parents or of the child. That's a problem of the people from human resources that are doing the hiring, that are supposed to be fair and impartial. You know, judge them based on their qualifications and what have you. Okay, but as we all know, in America, there's discrimination. So, but as far as the names go, think about it. Look at the names that some white people have, like Topher Grace from that '70s show. That's his name. Ashton Kutcher. What kind of name is that? Is that a typical name? Do they get discriminated against? Most likely not, because they're white. Okay. How do they get Peg from Margaret or Bill from William and stuff like that, you know, and calling each other Dick? I mean, I'm not calling no guy that. You know, some people would take offense to hearing that name, okay? And the other point I'm trying to make is, this is even more important to me, is if you're going to go to the trouble of making up a first name or being creative with it, what we really need to do is start changing these last names that we were given from slavery times. I'm not a slave, and neither are you. So why do we still have these slave names like Johnson and Jackson and Williams and O'Neill? Those aren't our last names. Those are the names of the people that owned our ancestors, our family members. And whenever they ran away or got lost or wandered from home or something, oh, what's your name, boy? Oh, Johnson, you're from the Johnson plantation? What, you know, I don't want to be connected to that. We got enough reminders of slavery here in America. A prime example is when you go to school, okay? They talk about slavery all day in school during Black History Month, and how you had to fight through the so-called civil rights era. And then on top of that, the school is named after a white slave master most of the time. George Washington School or high school or whatever, Thomas Jefferson High School or middle school or what have you, okay? But I tell you what, I guarantee you there's no white kids going to a school named after a black person, not that I've ever heard of. If there is one, somebody enlighten me and tell me where at, because I've never heard of it, okay? There's no kids going to Arthur Ashe High School that are white. They're not going to Malcolm X High School or Martin Luther King Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, okay? But we're going to these schools named after white people. Now, if you don't want to choose Arabic or African name, that's cool. Make something up, because like I said, you're making up first names. Why not make up last names, okay? And you know, I changed my name after, you know, years of saying I was going to do it. Because, you know, you start thinking, oh, my family, I don't want to offend them, and, you know, my family, but history and whatnot. But you know what? Your family shouldn't be offended, okay? The members of the family that should be offended are long gone. The ones that got these names to begin with, okay? They should be offended. But of course, they were powerless at the time, most likely, okay? And they've persisted up until this time. So I'm done with that. I'm not trying to be connected with slavery, okay? Like I said, we've got plenty of reminders of that, okay? And if you're gonna go through the trouble of making a first name up, you might as well make up a last name, okay? Just make one up. And as far as losing your heritage and your family roots or whatever, and no, you're not going to lose anything. What you're actually doing is you're adding a name to your family heritage and roots, and what I feel is the proper name, a better name, okay? When a woman gets married and changes her last name, she doesn't lose her history, she doesn't lose her heritage, she's still connected with her family members, okay? So it won't happen, okay? It'll